عشان تجيب جميل الزاوية.
خلصنا عادي هيش يعني في مية هنا يا جماعة هي.
هذه المية نشفة.
هي لا.
يعني ضغط الباب اللي قام عنده بحر.
إيه؟
What you just watched was footage of what Israel's army claims is the largest ever Hamas tunnel designed to carry fighters from Gaza to Israel's border. The tunnel is 4 kilometres long, that's 2.5 miles, and exits near the Erez border crossing. It dives 50 metres underground and it expands 3 metres in width, so it's wide enough for cars to drive through. It's equipped with ventilation and communication systems and links up with a tunnel network across Gaza. This footage was allegedly filmed by Hamas and recovered by IDF intelligence. Israel claims to have exposed hundreds of terror tunnel shafts throughout the Gaza Strip and insists the destruction of Hamas's tunnel network is a major objective. The IDF claims this tunnel facilitated the transit of vehicles, militants and supplies in preparation for the October 7 attack on Israel, which claimed the lives of more than 1,200 people and triggered this devastating war that has been raging for more than 10 weeks. The UK's Foreign Secretary has backed calls for a sustainable ceasefire in Gaza, warning too many civilians have lost their lives in the conflict. Palestinian health officials claim more than 18,000 people have been killed in Gaza.
There is a growing sense of urgency that the situation in Gaza cannot continue. The relatives of this family, whose bodies have just been recovered, claim they were sheltering in a school when they were killed.
My sister was at this point and her children were in her arms. They had all been lying here, shots had been fired at them, and they had Hebrew writing on their foreheads.
According to the health authority in Gaza, the death toll is heading towards 20,000. And aid agencies say the humanitarian situation is worsening by the hour. The US has stated Israel is losing global support for its military operation. And there's also been a change in tone from other key allies. Foreign Secretary David Cameron visited the kibbutzim last month and saw the carnage of October the 7th. But he's now added his voice along with his German counterpart, calling for a sustainable ceasefire. It is becoming clear that the United States is losing patience with Israel because of the rising civilian casualties in Gaza and the vision about what happens when the fighting stops. But in defiance of the Biden administration, Prime Minister Netanyahu says he opposes calls for a revitalized Palestinian Authority to govern the Strip as an interim measure on the way towards a two-state solution. And as the IDF continue pressing further into Gaza, the Israeli leader is also adamant he'll not bow to any international pressure on the timetable for the military operation.
We will achieve all of our goals: elimination of Hamas, the release of all of our hostages, and a promise that Gaza will not once again become a center of terror, incitement against the State of Israel, and attacks against the State of Israel. We will continue to fight until the end, for the sake of the fallen, and for the assurance of our lives here in the land of Israel.
But things are becoming increasingly desperate inside Gaza the longer this conflict goes on. There is a trickle of aid entering the Strip every day. These trucks carrying supplies were mobbed as they entered through the Rafah crossing. But much more is needed, with humanitarian organisations saying the population is now at breaking point. Alex Rossi, Sky News.
Here in Australia, pro-Palestine supporters have blocked a Melbourne road, causing major traffic disruptions.
Now, part of this demonstration, which has about 24 people across the two sites, as you can see, has signs. We've got cars here that have been written on, and we've actually just had these megaphones come out with these chants now being echoed down this street. There are also a number of trucks that have been here probably since the early hours of this morning. This demonstration started at 5:30 a.m. They are not able to complete a U-turn. It means that they will be stuck here until this demonstration ends. Now, protesters have labelled it as a peaceful demonstration. They simply say they want to be here as long as they can, and they are going to cooperate as much as they can with police, but simply they're waiting for what they call their lock-ins, which are a number of people who have physically restrained themselves to objects. One of those has a dog collar, that has been a bike collar rather, that's been wrapped around their neck and attached to the steering wheel of that car. That's to prevent that vehicle from being moved without that person being peacefully removed from that car as well. So